Well, as Nigeria prepares to change the next phase of our leadership in our political space, next month, 25th, precisely, the role of technology, like I said in the opening, cannot be overemphasized. But to join me X-ray this discussion is no other person than Albright Benson. He's a technology expert, and together we'll be looking at this discussion. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm glad to have you on the show this morning.
Thanks for having me.
All right, let's just go straight into the discussion. Well, the election is 25th of next month.
Yes.
How well can Nigeria trust this new beavers that was introduced? Let's just start from there.
Well, I will not be speaking for INEC, first of all, because I'm not their representative, but let me say this, that it's very critical. It's very, very critical that Nigerians will have to find a way to trust the process.
Okay.
And I'll go back to talking about why this is important.
So why is it
If you give me
important?
the opportunity
Of course,
to
why
do
is it
so.
important?
Okay, the reason why it's important is because, when you talk about, when you hear political parties talk about structure, there's something we don't understand, how elections are won with structures in Nigeria.
Okay.
This is simple. When you also talk about election being, hijacked from the people's will not taking, manifesting, it starts from some point. And this point is what what we're dealing with, how this affects
The election.
Yes, election. It starts from, first of all, a narrative. There's a painting of a narrative that your vote won't count. It starts from that point. That alone is a political strategy to win election. So if you don't understand how that translates to helping you win election, once people understand that, it changes the old dynamics first. Let me give you the scenario how this scaled down through. That's why Nigerians must trust
The
this process, because if they don't understand, that is the first point where you lose the election first. So what these political structures have, what they do is they simple. And so they put out words and say, this is not going to count. No matter what you do, you're not going to, the will of the people will not stand and all of that. So generally, people do not turn out for the election because they feel their vote will not count.
Okay.
That no matter what they do, it's still going to be activity
Business
and
as
futility.
usual.
So definitely, a large number of people then stay back. Now, this is how it favors the big political parties and their structures. So the structures comes then this way. We have our own people down from wards, down to units and local government who are coordinators. So these people coordinate,
Okay.
mobilize for people to vote, their own people and all of that. And then, of course, they pay certain persons who do the job of agents and monitor what is going on across all of these units. Now, on the day of election, very few people who are not inside these structures, show up for election. So let's assume that Edo State has registered voters of about 3 million. And then during election, you see total vote cast coming to something around 800, 900, so let's say 1 million. So what happened to 2 million people? So what happened with this whole thing is this. At the end of the day, the few people who come, they either find a way to buy them, so you have the few people they bought. They can't buy 2 million people. So you buy the few ones you bought, and then their own structures, their own people on ground do more of the voting, and then few other people who come from general public, they bring them in, and then it becomes the person with the most organized or mobilized team against the other person. So that is how it shuffles between the political party A and political party B, because the general public do not show up. But if the general public show up, so imagine...
Turn up in mass.
Yeah, turn up in mass. So you now have 3 million people come out. It's impossible to break that. The structure can undo that. You can't even buy that. How many people can you buy?
So with the introduction of beavers, now you're saying Nigeria is set for the election?
Yes, I will not speak for them, but this is it. Nigerians must trust the system.
Okay.
If you say you don't trust INEC, you have already lost the election in the first place.
Okay.
We have to trust it. Why? Because it's the next phase. It erodes the challenge of dealing with paper, where we fill papers, and then the INEC officer risks his life to transmit that paper to the nearest collating center, and then from there they collect it again, and then send it until it gets to the final collation center. That is a whole lot of challenge.
But to an extent now, I think some Nigerians have concern now.
Yeah.
You know, this process is going to be between man and machine.
Yes.
Because the machine, to an extent, cannot operate itself. There should be someone operating it.
Yes.
We must give it to this government for introducing the beavers and other processes that will help us have a free and fair election. But do you think, in the end, should we expect malfunctioning in some parts? Will it fail? This is a machine that might fail. Okay. It uses battery and all that. So what should we expect from this technology that was introduced?
Okay. Certainly, you know, machines are prone to challenges one way or the other. But we're speaking right now, we're interacting with machines.
That's true.
And people have to, you know, trust that it will not fail, right? So like I mentioned, see, no matter what this is, it's still like 80%, even if we have some level of challenges, it's still like 80% better
than where we're coming from.
Where we're coming from. So what is going to happen is that's why I keep saying that Nigeria will have to trust it. One, there could be a whole lot of propagation once again that, look, this thing will be rigged, this thing will not count, these machines will fail, internet will go off, they'll switch off all the internet in Nigeria, and all this kind of stuff.
Okay.
All of that actually still goes down to win a major war. Keep Nigerians away from the polls. That is the first game plan. Keep Nigerians away from the polls. Let them not come out. Give them any excuse. Give them anything to make them doubt the credibility of the process. And once that is there, then they can, you know, give up. But instead of doing that, why not say, see, we might have issues with power.
Of course.
So we'll provide generator as standby. It's just in case INEC has issues. We'll support you.
There are other means of power supply.
We'll support you. So let's assume you have internet issues. We'll make plans. We'll come back up. So basically, those are major, just little other areas where you could have some challenges. So instead of Nigerians saying that maybe they will use that to manipulate things, instead we can just say, we'll come prepared to support INEC. But the bottom line again is this: if Nigerians do not believe in the process, they've lost the whole battle altogether. We must believe in the process. We must come forward. Yes, it's technology, and it gives us a very, very good standing.
Okay.
Yeah, it gives us the ability to have a more credible election, a more difficult process to rig. Very, very, very difficult. Except with the cooperation of INEC, which we have seen that INEC have given a very strong ground and a strong face to Nigerians that, look, we are in for credibility and we're going to make it happen. So I think we have that, and we can just say...
And of course, the President and Commander-in-Chief have given that marching order.
He also has a body language that supports the confidence we should have.
Credible, free and fair election.
Exactly.
Okay, now, what do you think about the role of technology in 2023 general election? What do you think? What is your view?
Okay. Once again, I was beginning by saying, I think I've established some few thoughts around how elections are rigged.
That's true.
Basically, it begins first by changing or selling an idea that the election is not going to be free and fair, first of all. Then it goes down to trickling down to creating anything you can, either sense of violence and all of that, to just make people avoid the polls. Then when you do that, you bring the whole thing back to your own point where your structure can now play a role. So
your comfort zone.
So where you have the mobilization. But when the people come out in large numbers, it's absolutely too difficult for you to even manipulate that. So they understand the big fishes or the people who are open to play those kind of roles are understanding that the game is now different and it's going to be moving more tougher now to do that. So the only thing you can do is to keep telling people that this is not going to work. But this is where Nigerians then get the confidence they should have in the process. Technology. One, the electoral bill passage gives amazing confidence to the entire system. Yes, because one, it means that electronic means of communicating during elections and the process are all now accepted in the law. And by that implication, it means that, as before now, when they go to tribunals and say, hey, look at what happened, and you have evidences of maybe video clip or something, it's not admissible as evidence in the court of law. So basically, it's turned down, except you have to come with some physical stuff. So anything electronics were not really admissible as an evidence. But that has changed with the new law that we have. So it means that these things can now play a very, very important role in post-election processes. So even if we have an issue and we're able to get enough evidences that, yes, this is how it happened, not the way you think you pronounce or you say it is, we can go back to the law, and it will be, attended to, because we have evidences that now can be supported by the law and can be accepted or received as evidences. So that is a major shift. So that is where operations like this comes in, where we have technological vehicles now. We have technological vehicles.
To help drive?
What?
To help drive the process?
Yes, we have technological vehicles. I like what the Eyewitness Nigeria app does. It's absolutely amazing and it's powerful. And it gives you an opportunity for every Nigerian maybe to play a role in the whole process. I think INEC himself is open that, look, Nigerians should play roles. Everybody join hands. Let's make sure that we monitor the process to the end. The reason is this: if you all go out and we all monitor the process and you lost, you know that it was free and fair. You lost well. From the pool. No agitations. Not going to the court and all that. Yeah. The only way you get agitations is that you believe you won, and then it appears that you didn't win. But if you follow through properly and you discover that and you were part of the process, you just know that no, we lost this side. Let's go to the other side and check what we did. So you see, the technology is coming in both from the side of INEC and the side of the citizenry.
How can it encourage voters' participation?
Simple. Because now we realize that, okay, INEC is better armed than before to give credible elections because of the electronic processes that are now being incorporated into their process. That is amazing. Now we also have, technology coming in to play roles, like what I mentioned with things like what Eyewitness Nigeria app is doing and something like that. So all of that is coming in to give them a sense that, look, you're going to have eyes everywhere, and we can all be part of the entire process and monitor this thing to the latter and join INEC. No, this whole thing is not about fighting INEC, but supporting INEC, because INEC needs all the support. So stand with them and go through the process together. So once we do that, you discover that everybody now knows, okay, we have a tool to go through the process and monitor it. Two, INEC also has some tools now to give us credible elections. That should give all the confidence Nigeria needs, because basically it has been that we want this person, but we're not sure they will give us what we want. So basically nobody comes out from the
So we have an alternative means to be part of the process.
Yes, now we can't. Before now we go to the election blindly. You can't even tell what is going on here or what is going on there. So basically we just hope that somebody will drop something online or something. At the end of the day, we don't really know how to judge whether the result was right or the result was wrong. But what we have now with INEC preparedness and the tools they now have to deliver the election, and with what the citizenry now, the technology part of it that we are deploying into the election process, Nigerians have now more options to be able to see what is going on, be able to play roles in it. So I think it should encourage massively for everybody to come out.
But don't you think we still have rural areas that are yet to be covered when it comes to technology? There are people that can still use an Android phone, for instance. So now we are not saying we are going technological as far as the election process is concerned. So the people living in rural area, can they come to terms with this introduction of beavers and the technological system of having an election?
Good. I think INEC already should have a very strong process to attend to areas that have such deficiencies. You get me? And that should not be in any way, overlooked. So you have structures by which they're going to administer whatever they're going to do there. Certainly, there's also should be a very strong plan B. In case this fails, use this. So it's not a hard and fast rule, because if you make it an hard and fast rule, then the whole system, a whole unit can be shut down because the machine is not responding, so everybody can't do anything until then. So basically, you have to find a way to have something in case of such a situation. But let me also say that, yes, why the numbers is good in such a place is we have places you have to use canoes and boats, speed boats to access. It's a whole lot of...
and some of those places don't even have network.
Yes, and so...
to an extent.
Good. That is why, for instance, the process you're looking at when you talk about the Eyewitness app, for instance, it's coming up with a process where you can do offline. Okay, you can take your data, you can do your videos, you can do whatever you do offline and leave. Once you go to where you have internet, it uploads. So INEC should have seen situations like that where if you tap internet, you can still capture and still do everything. So all you need to do, once you're moving also, it also comes up. So while you have a backup in case of any issue, you still have that offline possibilities that as you're on your way back, internet comes in at all, and it gets it instantly before you even get there. So all of those processes should help any of those areas where you have such challenges.
So as a technological expert now, you're saying Nigerians should trust this next election. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
From your submission?
Yes. I believe that if we do not trust the process, we have already lost the battle.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Albright Benson, for taking time to join us on the show this morning.
Thank you.
We'd like to have you again, and we'll have luxury of that so that we can actually expand the front line of this discussion.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll quickly take a short break now. And of course, our next guests are already standing by to look at matters arising as far as the general elections is concerned. You don't go nowhere.